Hello everyone, it's your girl Mercy Chinwo Blessed. First, I want to say thanks to every one of you for your immense love and support. I never believed the day would come where I would sit here to share my story. For the sake of the body of Christ, I thought to bring some clarity to a lot of misleading news out there online about the Mercy Chinwo brand. A man said I sued him, came online, made videos to tarnish my image. He looked at me and said, I made you who you are and I will destroy you. I became scared of my life. It got to a point where I had to move from Lagos to Port Harcourt because this man made the environment toxic for me. I've endured bully, I've endured threats. Whatever he's doing on social media now is nothing compared to what I went through. This is not to paint him bad. He took me to court, came online to tell the public that I took him to court. Here are the documents. You took myself and Minister Judike to court. And you're here playing the victim game. You bullied me, you threatened my life, you said you made me who I am and that you would destroy me. When you were the same person, how many lawyers have you changed now? Because you said you're going to deal with me, you have connections, you have money. What did I do? What have I done to you? I took you as a father. I was once your backup singer. I served you diligently. We signed a management contract in 2017. As we progressed, you tried to convince me to sign a 12-year contract, which I said no. Since then, you started acting funny, always toxic because I did not extend the contract. Immediately after my contract, I discovered you forged a new contract. Please tell the world what happened to the 2017 and the 2019 contract. You seized my royalties for 2 years. You're a bully. You're an oppressor. One of my major crimes was when I did a song with Pastor Nathaniel Bassi. Because this man hates Pastor Nathaniel Bassi, you went as far as sponsoring fake news about an innocent child, my son, and you said my son was not my son. And you paid bloggers because you hate Pastor Jerry Eze. You won't want me to go for his events. The people you fight, I must fight them with you. And when I ask you questions, why don't you like them? You start harassing me. Because he had threatened me countlessly. You said you made me who I am and you have the power to destroy me. You are not God and you cannot destroy me. You have bloggers. I have God. The worst you can do is what you are doing. Like I said, what I went through working with you is nothing compared to what you are doing. You have bloggers. I have God. And I know that God will not let your plan come to pass. For his thoughts for me, they are of good and not of evil.
Hello, people. We are here again for you to bring you news, updated news, of things happening in and around the country, and today we are going to be talking about Mercy Chinwo. I don't know, you probably must have seen because from the Eagle Online, we already gave you an update on that when Mercy Chinwo came out with a video accusing our record label boss, of intimidating her, harassing her, and all sorts of things. So today we are just going to be having a chat about it, okay, who's in the wrong, who's in the no, what should have been done, what shouldn't have been done. And of course, I have my regular guest on the show. You're welcome again, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so today, like I said, we are talking about Mercy Chinwo and Mr. Easy of Easy Concepts. That's our record label and all the problem that has been ensuing between them. So what's your take on that, sir?
Well, I know that this matter is in court. And since the two or one of the parties opted for the court, it's also good that it is happening that way. That way the courts can adjudicate on it. But what took a lot of people aback was the fact that a gospel singer, someone who believe is churchy, took certain steps, some of which turned out to be false, and also ended up locking somebody who has been a manager up through detention by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for a whole week. that's the starting point where people got interested in. If just anyone had done it if a secular singer had done that, nobody would have been like so attracted to it. But from a Mercy Chinwo that is sent to be spiritual,
Godly.
Being spiritual does not mean you should also be.
And is she spiritual or religious?
You also maybe religious. So, but being spiritual does not also mean that you must be stupid.
True.
Yeah, because if somebody indeed has your money and the person is not releasing it, then you have a right to pursue it any way you can. But the revelations that came after on why that money was withheld was shocking also. Because as somebody who a lot of people want to believe will be straight in dealing with others, it was shocking that she also admitted that she went behind the producer and the manager and the record label to do certain things which were not indeed professional. So, my expectation, and from some of the revelations that came, including from very, I don't want to use the word loquacious, VeryDarkMan.
Yeah.
Some of those things were shocking and surprising. Because if you are going to come to equity, you must come with a clean hand.
Clean hand, yes.
You can't afford to have your hands dirty. And then you are the one who is. Because right now, if indeed both of them, that's Mercy Chinwo and the record label, they have a binding agreement, then she can be in for it. It means that even the suit she instituted can be turned against her. Because any breach in a contract should attract certain penalties. But not like the producer knowingly withholding funds. Because you could have gone to court. You shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. And the court would have intervened on your behalf. You know? I'm not saying that Mercy Chinwo is not right by going to EFCC. EFCC is dealing with economic crimes. So any kind of matter can go to them. Any kind of matter. But like a lot of people will argue, when there is a breach like that, your first port of call should be the court.
Should be the court, not the FCC. Why?
You know? And then the man was locked up for about a week. Which a lot of people also believe did not portray Mercy Chinwo in the light in which they've always seen her.
Exactly.
You know, the person who wants to do an amicable settlement for any matter that happens. You know? So for me, the lessons I've drawn from this is be upright when you are into deals like that. And that's why I've always advised. When you practice certain trades, ensure that every association, union, or society you ought to belong to that can protect your rights, you belong to them. That's why I liked the idea of the Copyright Society of Nigeria when it was brought up. Because what that body does now is anywhere your music is played, somebody must pay you royalty for it. Whether it's in a club or it's in a bar, anywhere you play music, there must be something that will go into the purse of the Copyright Society of Nigeria, which is custom. You must, as a musician, anybody who is involved in that work of art, belong to that society. Don't forget also that we still have the Music Society of Nigeria. You know, you must also try and ensure that you are recognized everywhere, so that when there is an issue, when you check within these bodies, they have the ombudsman that internally intervenes in face-offs like this, you first explore that option. Come, me and this man, be like, so we won't get trouble. And they look for a way out. It is when it is not solvable that you can then move to the next step. And added to that is the fact that you must always have a lawyer in signing any contract. When a professional looks at your contract, it is for the best or for the better. So that when there is a problem, you can always go back to that contract because it is there. These are your rights, these are your privileges, and you work with that. But look at the case of somebody like Mohbad and the Malian records. Mohbad was a young man who just wanted to sing. He said it himself. He knows the lyrics, he wanted a platform. And when the issue came up for him to be signed, he just went straight into it. He was not conversant with whatever went down at that time until certain issues started coming up. And then it's like, okay, let's go back to this contract. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. That should have been the first thing to do. In fact,
and I think these record labels take advantage of that as well. You know, if you feel like if you don't know your rights, that because ordinarily, like you said, you should have a lawyer present when you are signing such things, or you have someone check it for you. A lawyer, of course, check it for you. You don't just sign at the spot of the moment.
You just append your signature. Once you append your signature, that's the end.
That's the end.
Because somebody like Mohbad's father now, who is claiming all the rights over the child and all the rest, that should have been one of the things he would have done for the son. Let me show up. Let's see what is happening here. Even the mother should have been able to show up too and say what is happening here. So that they are on the same page. They know that once something happens, it's just like what YouTube is doing now. It's a straightforward business. A click, your money drops. A click, your money drops. So it's now left for you, your record label, your producer and all the rest to have agreed on a sharing formula. Especially in situations where you don't own yourself. We've seen a lot of people on YouTube who are independent producers who just do music and put on YouTube. They've not run into such problems because they are the owners. So those kind of people, they own their own musical instruments, they own their band, they do. So whatever drops in is left for them to decide on how to manage with their team. But in a situation where you have to do this sharing formula, it must be on record, black and white, so that when there is an issue, you know how to treat it. And then our people, like I said earlier, must learn to be straightforward. Issues of money is always a problem in businesses in Nigeria. I don't know why.
You say money is the root of all evil.
But money is also the root of all the good things we have.
True.
It's also the root of all the good. So why can't we put money to a positive use? Why must it always become a problem in businesses? It shouldn't be. We must learn how. It's not only in Nigeria that it happens.
Oh yeah, true.
It's not really. It's everywhere. And that's why it's important that people who are going to partnerships must learn to be straightforward, sign agreements, and stick with them. I wouldn't, for instance, expect Mercy Chinwo to have accepted. I'm not saying she didn't do it, but to even have had the courage to agree that she went behind and did some deals. That's wrong. Because that's not what is in the holy book that she's carrying around.
True.
It's not. We should say it as it is. She should be a role model for others. There are some things that I think should just be beneath certain people. Because I'm very disappointed. When you tell me this is where you belong, I want to see you stand there. If at any point in time you had felt cheated, you would have called for a dispute resolution, not going behind to go and do what your contract didn't say. So both of them are at fault. And they should quickly find a way of resolving it, even outside of the courts. So that things can run smoothly.
The courts, what would you say about the video that she brought out? Do you think that was even necessary? And then, you know, it's been said that some of the things there are not true, and that the video was doctored, it was edited, you know, just to gain, I think, sympathy.
Yeah, public sympathy.
Yes.
That for me is also something I didn't expect. Because I was thinking at a level, like I said earlier, she should have been able to resolve this by calling on all the societies she belongs within the music industry. Come and see what my manager is doing. And then the ombudsman will take over. Every society has that. Because before you go and open your matter to the public, you ought to be able to find a way of resolving it internally. And then you now follow due process. Instead of this impression that the old world now has, that she's using our might, our influence to intimidate the manager. If at the end of the day, she could come out, do those videos, drop all of this, and we could see the join, as we call it in Nigeria, the join of the videos, as we will describe it in our own language here, then there's a problem. She shouldn't have done that video at all.
At all.
And then she now comes out to accept that she's wrong. Even the allegation VeryDarkMan made, in terms of bringing down those facts he presented.
Yes.
Some of us have, we've seen it, we've watched it, we've imbibed it, we've internalized it, and we know what has gone down. So she shouldn't even have provided a platform for that to have happened at all.
Exactly, in the first place.
Because a lot of people hold her in high esteem. People who come out speaking in tongues and blaring fire, and then we now have this. It's always very disappointing. Seriously. Always very disappointing. You know?
Okay, so that's all we have for you today. I hope she's able to resolve this with our record label boss, and they're able to find the solution to it. And I also hope that other people can learn from this. That is very important.
That is the key issue.
Yes.
That's to learn.
You know, so that we don't keep having all these issues every time, back and forth. And of course, if there's any other updates on this matter, we'll be sure to bring it to your screen. So now don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notifications when we come with updates and other videos. And also click the like button and also share this video. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. Till next time, it's bye for now.
Bye.